Okay, so made it to Naples. I'm in the train station right now. The flight was actually quite good. I slept for like 2 hours on it, which was great. Caught the bus from the airport to here, and then a nice lady just helped me buy a ticket to Salerno, which is my next destination. The train's not for like 35 minutes though, so I'm going to chill out here for a bit, try and get some food, and I'll try and check back in when I get to Salerno. Okay, so made it to Salerno on the train. Train journey was nice, really quick. Went past Mount Vesuvius. I'm waiting for my ferry now, which is going to take me to Positano, but it's going to be like an hour. So I'm just going to read my book here and wait for that to happen. The weather's quite grey, but nice view, sea, mountains. The weather forecast said there might be a thunderstorm. I hope there isn't a thunderstorm while I'm on the ferry. But I'm sure I'll survive. So I wanted to give an update on what I've been up to. I arrived in Positano about 5 PM last night. The ferry took about an hour and a half, and it was really nice travelling along the coast. When I got to Positano, I had like a rough idea of where the hostel was, but the town is on an incredibly steep hill. All of these Amalfi Coast towns are just like clinging to a cliffside, and I had my rucksack which weighs 10 kilograms, and so I had to haul that all the way up a hill to my hostel, and by the time I got there I was just absolutely dripping with sweat, which wasn't a good look. Anyway, I got there, chilled out for a bit, had a very welcome shower, and made friends with the people who I was sharing a hostel room with. So we went to get some drinks, and went to eat in town, so we had to go back down all the stairs to get to the seafront. But last night was the Festival of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, which is a big deal here. So they were having like a feast and fireworks and parades, which was pretty cool. We had dinner, which was nice. I had spaghetti carbonara. The restaurant that we went to didn't serve pizza, which was a bit of a disappointment, but you know, pasta's just as good. I'll get plenty of pizza in Naples. So right now I'm on Il Sentiero degli Dei, which is the Path of the Gods, and I think it's like an old pilgrimage route. Right now I've just passed through the village of Nocelle, which it took me about an hour and a bit to get there from my hostel. I walked maybe a mile out of Positano, and then the path went off the main road and up one of the steepest climbs I've ever done in my life. It was probably 3 or 4 times what I had to do yesterday to get to the hostel, and I've just been absolutely drenched in sweat, because it's hot as well. I set off early. I set off before 8 o'clock. It's now 25 past 9 and it's already pretty hot. So yeah, on the way up I saw a guy carrying 2 sacks of food to his house, and I felt bad for that guy. The town of Nocelle was quite nice, like a very small village that's somehow existing all the way up here. So yeah, now I'm on the Path of the Gods, which is one of the reasons that I actually came to Positano in the first place. A sign back there said it was a 6.5 kilometre route or something. So I've probably already walked for an hour and a bit. So I'll see if I can get to the end of this. I don't know if it finishes in a town or if I'll need to travel a bit further to get to a town, but I'd like to get to a town, have lunch, and then make my way back. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll check in later. So I'm still on Il Sentiero degli Dei, but twice now I've found myself in these secluded little valleys that have kind of their own microclimate, because out on the cliff face it's really hot, but in here it's cool. And in the first one there was a single cairn, but in this one there's kind of hundreds of tiny little cairns, mounds made of stone. It's cool, but also a little bit freaky. So it's quite isolated up here, and all the time I've been here I've been able to hear these bells ringing, just bells all around, and now I found out what they are. crisp brick. I've got some sweets as well. So, I've been walking along the Path of the Gods for about 2 hours. It's been really nice and honestly not as hard as the trail that took me up to the start of the Path of the Gods. It's been up and down, but it's been relatively level. Oh, there's a horse down there. I think I'm just about coming to the end of it. So yeah, I'll see if I can find some food. Well, I'm somewhere. Just emerged out of the wilderness to this. Okay, so I've been to Bomarano. I had some lunch there, nice little town, got an ice cream, Nutella, delicious. And now I'm setting off walking back on the Path of the Gods. Probably won't be recording too much more just because I need to concentrate on walking, like that, otherwise I'll fall over. So yeah, thus begins the return walk. Okay, so I've walked back along the Path of the Gods, found kind of a new route back into Positano, because the way that I came was very hard, up about 1,000 steps. So I'm trying this new route, which will hopefully be a bit nicer. So yeah, we'll see.
I'm getting a spoon. Oh, the wine as well. Oh, now you finished it. Okay, if I buy a bottle of Prosecco, will ever drink some?
I don't like Prosecco, but you can.
I don't really like it, but. I don't know why, but they just don't make fluffy pancakes. That's not the way to.
Highgate. It's erupted this century. Is it not a little early for a beer?
Actually, it's like 9:30.
Yeah.